Guess what I got? I got something that doesn't even, quote unquote, exist on the market yet. I'm fortunate enough to be one of the first people in the United States to have one of these. This is the EcoFlow Delta Pro 3. How many of you guys remember the story of the three bears? Mama bear, Papa bear, baby bear, right? This one's too hot, this one's too cold, this one's just right. That's kind of where this one fits in, okay? Now, most of you guys know I have a Delta Pro setup, all right, and works great. The downside for it, for me, is there's not enough power in it where I can run my HVAC system. We've talked about that many times. I've showed you guys the Delta Pro Ultra in the past. The Delta Pro Ultra is the massive system that's expandable up to 90 kilowatts, okay? Where my Delta Pro system is expandable just to 21.6, all right? This one falls in the middle. This one is expandable to 36 kilowatts. At that point, if you built a whole home system, you could feasibly run an HVAC system, okay? You may not be able to run it for 24/7 or whatever, but if you figure your typical HVAC system uses somewhere around 4,000 watts, that means this thing could run your HVAC system for 9 hours if you had it fully expanded, okay? It is basically a massive upgrade to the Delta Pro, okay? And the reason they called it the Delta Pro 3 and not the Delta Pro 2 is the Delta Pro 2, or the Delta Pro Ultra was actually the Delta Pro 2, but marketing research said they'd be better off naming it the Ultra. This one is the Delta Pro 3. Now, it is an EcoFlow product. Again, we all know best in class solar generators, in my opinion, and pretty much 99% of everybody else's. It has all the basic bells and whistles, as you can see on the front there. USB-C, it's got AC charge, whole 9 yards, charging via solar, charging via AC, charging via EV ports, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, here's where the differences come in, where this is an upgrade. The Delta Pro, the original one, each unit was a 3.6 kilowatt capacity. This one is a 4 kilowatt capacity, 4,000 watts. So you're getting an extra 11% capacity per unit per extra battery. And I'll show you those. That obviously is heavy, and it's the extra battery. Notice how it works. It sits right on top, which is extremely convenient compared to the Delta Pro, because the Delta Pro was not stackable. Therefore, you've seen my setup where I have them side by side, my extra batteries side by side from the main unit, and then for my second bank, side by side from the main unit. This one's stackable. You can add 2 extra batteries to each one of these units, giving you 12,000 watt capacity out of one setup. You can pair 3 of them together to get your 36 kilowatts. Now, here's the biggest advantage of this thing. Remember how on the Delta Pro you had to have 2 units to hook up to run 240? And basically, unless you had the connector, I forget what it's called off the top of my head, where you plug both batteries in and then you could plug something into it like a clothes dryer. No. For this one, this unit, just one, don't even need the extra battery, just this unit, you can run 240 off of that. Let's go take a look at that. Okay, so we are in the laundry room and we are going to hook up my dryer to this and show you that we can run this 240 off of one unit. So the first thing I'm going to need is this, okay? There's your cable. I need the adapter to make sure that it works with my cable on my dryer. So, okay, so I have my dryer connected here, and you can see their cable plugged in. There's my dryer cable. We will make sure we go turn on the DC power, 240 volt power, I mean, and we will go over and turn on my dryer. Okay, we have power to it. Now let's start the dryer. Well, so far so good. All right. So now we know it will run 240, but my dryer takes up more than 4,000 watts. So yeah, it's not the solution for everything, but it will run 240 off of one unit. It just depends on your wattage. Okay, so back to the kitchen table and let's talk about some of the other pros to this thing. First off, UPS, uninterrupted power supply. Yes, this certainly has it. It's an improvement over the Delta Pro Original, which the Delta Pro Original had a UPS of 30 milliseconds. This one has 10 milliseconds. Not that you're really going to notice the difference between milliseconds, but even faster than before, okay? I already told you about increased capacity. We will go into solar charging. This has two inputs for solar, okay? Your low photovoltaic and your high photovoltaic inputs, okay? So on the LPV, you can get 11 to 60 volts and up to 1,000 watts max. On the HPV, 30 to 150 volts and 1,600 watt max, okay? As for AC charging, basically the same as everything else. You can get 1,800 watts max at 120 volt, or you can get 3,600 watts out of 240, okay? I mean, again, there's not going to be a whole lot of change in that one because you're only getting so much power out of the wall anyway, okay? Connecting this to the house. Now, this is where it's different. This one connects with the Smart Home Panel 2 only, just like the Ultra does. The original Smart Home Panel 1, it does not work with. It's a different cable. So if you've already started building your system and you bought the Smart Home Panel 1, it will not work with this. Whether or not they come up with some sort of different cable in the future, I don't know, but as of right now, it only works with the Smart Home Panel 2, okay? That is something that is important. Weight-wise, okay? Yes, this is on wheels. Back here, you can see them, okay? Yes, it has a telescoping handle in front, which is slightly off camera. So technically, it's portable. The generator itself alone weighs 113 pounds, okay? I'm sitting at a counter height table. Thank God I'm tall, okay? It was hard to get this thing up on the table. You saw me try to get the battery up. The battery weighs, I think, 65 pounds or something like that. It's a heavy unit. Yes, it's portable, but it's, let's put it this way, you're not carrying it up the stairs. Okay, that's just not going to happen. I mean, unless you're Charles Atlas, not happening. Okay. There are cons to this. Let me go through those with you real quick. All right, guys, so let's get into the negatives on this. There are 3 negatives that I found, okay? And again, maybe they're negatives for you, maybe they're not, but my opinion, okay? First off, we already showed you me running my clothes dryer on this unit, 1 unit, okay? Here's the caveat to that. When you are running 240, you cannot also run 120 out of it. So, for example, I had my clothes dryer plugged in. Great, clothes dryer works. My clothes dryer's on 240. It's an electric clothes dryer. I could not run my washing machine on this generator at the same time because the unit will not handle 240 output and 120 output at the same time. Literally, I would have to have a second generator of whatever sort. Doesn't, for running the washing machine, it doesn't have to be something as big because it's only running 120. I want everybody to understand that if you're using this as a portable system, you cannot run 240 and 120 at the same time. If you hook it into the smart home panel too, sure, then that's fine. It'll work at that point. It's a different way of setting up. But directly from this, no, you cannot. Okay, second negative for this is this, okay? This is the cable that hooks the extra battery to the main unit. Why they went back to this, I can't figure out. For the Delta Pro Ultra, they had a 90-degree cable that makes for a very clean installation. No problem, can still put it in a corner, you're good. This winds up a squirrely mess in the back. I know what the reasoning would be is if you stack another one on top of it, okay, then you'd have a longer drive down to the main unit. Fine. Make a long cable, make a short cable, okay? And that would be it. They went with this. I'm not a fan, okay? It doesn't make it as easy to tuck it into a corner in a closet somewhere, wherever your breaker box is, where you're going to put a smart home panel in. It takes up more space because you've got this spaghetti wire in the back. The third one, I assume they will eventually fix, okay? Because I think it was a major oversight on their part. Y'all know what this is, okay? This is the, if we can get the parts out here, the MC4 cable that connects to your solar panels, and then, of course, the other end connects to the generator, okay? I charged this off of my rooftop solar system, which is Canadian solar panels. It worked perfectly, no problem. You do not have to have the EcoFlow solar panels. EcoFlow charges way too much for the solar panels. I got ones that are as good, if not better, for a quarter of the price, a third of the price, okay? No problem. The thing is, you have to have this cable to plug into the back of the generator. And they don't include it with the generator. That makes no sense to me. Now, if you've ever bought another EcoFlow product before, I mean, whether a 1300, a Delta 2, a Delta Max, the Delta Pros, anything like that, they all use the same cable. So all this is a cable that I had from one of my other generators. I plugged it in, it worked perfectly. But I think it was a huge oversight of EcoFlow not to include the solar charging cable for a solar generator. Because even if you have portable panels, you still need something with this clip, with this connector. So those are the 3 negatives that I found about this. What I do want to do is put it through a stress test here real quick, because again, we're claiming 4,000 watts. So let's hook it up to a couple of high drain devices and try that. All right, so we'll do the standard. A toaster, 4-slice toaster, and a Mrs. P's teapot, if you will, hot water pot, okay? Both of them high drain devices. So, all right, we're pulling 14 watts right now because the light's on here. So let's kick both of these on. Okay, turn the toaster on. We're, what, 1750, 1770. If I kick on the teapot, and there we go, and see what we got. All right, we are pulling just under 3,200 watts here. And as we watch this, there's no kickback whatsoever. I can hear the teapot cooking already. Obviously, the orange is on in the toaster. There's just not enough room on the kitchen table here for something else, but easily this is handling 2 high drain devices without a... So there you go. There is your EcoFlow Delta Pro 3 that is coming to market. Now, of course, the big question always comes, what does it cost? All right. Retail, they are in pre-order period, like I said earlier, from today until June 24th. The retail price is $36.99 for the base unit, not for the battery, okay, just for the base unit. Elliot over at Wellbots has a deal, $31.99 for it. Oh, and then if we want to add a little bit of cream to the pie here, we also get another $100 off with the coupon code I will include below. So total cost for the main unit is $3,099. If you guys remember, that is about the price that the Delta Pro, the original one, was 6 months ago. So you're getting 11% more capacity. You have more time to, or more ways to charge this. I mean, 2 solar inputs. Okay. You have a 5-year warranty as opposed to a 3-year warranty. This one's got 5. The original had a 3-year warranty on it. And you have more capacity, more expandable capacity to it. This is a significant upgrade, okay? If you wanted to add the battery to it, just one battery, this and this, during the pre-order period, retail is $62.99. Elliot's got it for $54.99, so there's $800 off. Plus, you can still take the extra $100 off with the coupon code below, all right? So, yeah, if you have been looking to foray into a whole home system, okay, this is something to put in the quiver to take a look at. It's bigger than the Delta Pro. It's not industrial size like the Delta Pro Ultra. This is more full home size to run basically everything. Again, you don't have to do it with the smart home panel too. You can do it with an inlet box. You can do it with the transfer switch and run everything. Obviously, at that point, you're doing things manually. You're not doing things Bluetooth-wise, because this is all set up for Bluetooth, so you can control everything over your phone, switch it from halfway across the country. You know, you're fine that way. With a inlet box or transfer switch, obviously, you can't, okay? But, that being said, again, if you are looking for installation to set up your whole system, I've mentioned Jason and Mike over at Solar One USA numerous times. They are aware this is coming out. We've already talked, and so they will be able to access this as well in a couple of weeks when it's actually released for sale, and be able to install it as well. I will leave their contact information as well in the pinned comments below. Make sure if you call them. You say you are coming from Pinball Preparedness, and you will get preferred pricing at that point. Okay, just saying. They give a 10% discount on installation for people that come from this channel. Giving you an idea. They don't cover the whole country. Okay, mind you this, I think there are 18 states or something like that. Primarily the Midwest and the Southeast. They could be expanding. It's always worth contacting them and see if they'll come to you. Okay. All right. And you knew this part was coming. Yes, we are giving one of these away. The main unit, not the battery, just the main unit. We are going to do it on tonight's live stream. So hopefully those of you watching this are watching it now. In order to enter, you must live in the continental US, the lower 48. You must put in a primary comment, not a reply, what state in which you live in, and name one of the planets. I gotta come up with something, right? Okay. On tonight's live stream, like always, we will draw the name live, okay, through the random comment picker. The person whose name is picked, provided they have a valid entry, okay, will have 3 minutes to reply that they are in there, and I will get this over to Elliot. Word to the wise, it will be a couple of weeks until this is shipped because it's not available for sale yet. They are in pre-order period. So if you are the winner, be advised, it will be a few weeks until you get this. Okay. But if you are looking for the latest and greatest, newest model in a mid-size, mama bear size, whole home system, add this one to what you need to think about. As if you don't have enough options already, now you got another one. Have a great day, guys. We will see you tonight. Pinball out.